Welcome, dear students. In the current session, we would explore a sample text from Middle English. The purpose or the objective of the session is to ground your knowledge of Middle English language and to give you some hands-on experience of how to apply it on a Middle English text. Again, the sample that I'm using is of Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, and it is taken from the prologue part of it, of course written in 1387. The first feature that I would like to talk about with reference to Middle English language is the vowel. I would like you to notice how it is used. The vowel spak. And French, I'm reading the text, and French sees that is French, how it is written. And French she spak full fair and fattishly. Notice this as it is used here in the text. Now what do we say? We say spoke. Speak, spoke, spoken. This is how we use it now, but it was spak at that time. Also, notice another vowel. This is the text now. To foreign halves coth in sundry lands. To foreign halves coth in, notice this. Sundry, far off, lands. In both of these words, you can notice what has happened. This, vowel is, this sound is used, lands, not as lands. So over the time, now we find it different. And especially from every shire's end of England. Again, England, how it is written and pronounced, this is an example of that. I hope you would also notice this important feature, that is of, we call it unrounding. Unrounding of Old English to E sound. I'm going to talk about the word such. By the way, this is how Chaucer has used it. Notice the example that I've given from the Canterbury Tales. And bathed every vine in such liquor. You can notice a lot of other instances, liquor, wine, you can notice all these spellings, but at the moment what we are focusing on is the word such, the item such, which was, from such, it became such in Middle English. Later on, it shifted back. In modern English, there, from Old English coming towards this word, but from modern English again going back towards Old English. This such is closer to the Old English text rather than the Middle English text that we see here as used by Chaucer. Also, list. The word list that is used in Old English with, this sign, Chaucer used it with this. So this shows a shift from Old English to Middle English again. Notice the example that I have quoted here for you from the text of Chaucer. In courtesy was set full much her list. Characteristics of Midland English, that is the East Midland English, is the loss of the prefix y. This is one character that you need to notice. The second is the retention of the final n. For example, holpen, drunken, holden, this retention is, a characteristic of the East Midland English that was mainly the English that was used in London, and that became the standard English during the latter half of the Middle English period. An example from Chaucer's text is this one. and small fowls maken melody, that sleepen all the night with open eye. Now this is I. Remember on the previous slide, I talked about here prefix Y. Before a word, adding a prefix. And what is that prefix? This one. Now, see its use here. You can notice Chaucer has used that. So, Chaucer's English is a very, very accurate sample of the English that was being used in the Middle English times, especially, as a London variety that was considered to be the standard variety. Here another example of maken, sleepen, longen. You can notice all these. By the way, this is yet another example. And Palmer's for to seeken strange strongs. This is strange, by the way. So, the influence of South is evident in the loss of N. Remember, on the previous slide, we talked about the use of N. Here we are talking about the loss of N. In which words? Unknown, unknown, written without N, unknown without N. These are the examples that are found in the text written by Chaucer. The whole Canterbury Tales and its prologue is full of such examples, and this serves as a piece of literature that has documented the kind of language that was used during that time.